The first video that I'll be creating as part of my Flash tutorials are showing you how to trace an image in Flash. Now to get started, create a new Flash file. It doesn't matter if it's ActionScript 2.0 or 3.0 because we won't be using ActionScript, so just go ahead and click to create a new blank document. Now, as you can see, we have a blank document and our library, which is in the bottom right hand corner, is empty. Now to get a picture in there that we want to be tracing, just go to the top left and hit File, Import, Import to Library, and a dialog box pops up where you can select the picture you want to use. I'll be using one of Zoidberg I found on Google. So click the picture, hit Open, and as you can see it now, put it in our library. So we can click on the picture and drag it by still holding down over the stage and release, and it puts it right on the stage. So to get started tracing, you want to go to your Layers panel up top, and as you can see under the lock there's a small black circle. If we click that, it locks the layer, and by locking the layer we can't make any edits to it. As you can see, if we have our tool, we can't move it around anymore with our selection tool. If you want to move it again, or you're not happy with where it's positioned, just simply click the lock to unlock it and you can drag it around again. So we'll keep it locked, and then in the bottom left hand corner of the layers there's a button called Insert Layer, and we want to hit that, and what it does is creates a new blank layer on top of the layer where Zoidberg's on. So we'll name the locked layer Zoidberg, and then layer 2 we'll call it Trace, because this is where we'll do all our tracing on. So click it, make sure it's selected, and you can use your line tool by either clicking it, it's the 7th one down, or hitting N on your keyboard, which is a shortcut key. So in your properties of the line tool, you can either change the stroke color, which is the color of the line. I like to use a lime green as it stands out the most on any picture you're tracing, I find. But there's other colors you can use, but it doesn't really matter, so I click green. This is the thickness of your line that you'll be drawing. I'll just keep it at 1. And then over here, I like to change the zoom level to 300 so it makes it easier to see and you can use more detail. So to get started, with your line tools selected, click and drag to create a line segment. Now as you can see, it's not curved to the shape of the claw, so you go to the top left hand corner and click your selection tool again, or you can hit V on your keyboard. I like using shortcut keys. So with your selection tool selected, click the line and the cursor changes to a little curve on the bottom of it. So if you click the line and drag, as you can see there's a small gray line that appears, and if you click and drag it, you can bend the line. Now for the top of the claw, which is a bit sharper of a corner, you can do the same thing by using your line tool by hitting N, dragging, creating a line, then you go back to your selection tool by hitting V and just clicking on the line and dragging it up, and then you can make the point of his claw. Now there's other ways to trace. You can have your line segment, and if you draw another line segment right through it, the point in the middle where the two lines intersect will be acted like an anchor point. So now that one line segment, you can drag it as two separate lines. So you can drag it, and then once you're done dragging it, you can click the edge of the line and hit delete on your keyboard, and click the bottom and hit delete, and then you have your line. It's done in the same way like we did the other one, just using a different method. So using those two methods, you can go ahead and trace an entire picture, and you'd want to trace a picture instead of importing it and using the bitmap version, because Flash uses vector images, and vector images you can scale them infinitely and they don't get grainy. But as you can see, if we zoom in on Zoidberg, you can see all the pixels and like the artifacts from JPEG compression, but our green line that we made is nice and smooth, so you can scale it as big as you want and it won't ruin the quality. So you can use those two methods I just showed you to get started tracing a picture.